Yo.
But I'd love to just start off.
Start off there.
Yeah.
Okay,
definitely.
there's multiple levels to this vacation.
Let me ask you about the vacation, Yasin. Don't you introduce your own vacation? Hey, Yasin.
Yeah.
It's good to have you back, man.
Hey, thanks, man. I'm happy to be back.
This city
Yes.
of two towers
Yes.
was not the same without you.
Oh my God, what are
I
the two
know.
towers? The Marilyn Monroe
I
towers?
think so. I mean, the other ones are just, they're
Yeah.
cool, but they don't have any character.
This is true. Marilyn Monroe towers. Really bad resale value, apparently.
Bro, tell me about your vacation.
Now I'm just actively avoiding it. Okay, my vacation was wonderful.
Where'd you go?
I went to Mauritius, right? The homeland. That's where my both parents come from. I feel a certain type of connection to that place, despite the fact that I was born here, which is odd. But it's definitely not. How do we say? It's a real thing. You just feel some type of way when you land. The sun hits your face. I can feel my battery is recharging. I just feel happier. I like
how you're Superman.
everything.
The sun hits you, you recharge, you
Yeah.
blow lasers out of your eyes. The crazy thing is you had to, now you're showing this to your new wife.
Right,
You're
yeah.
like, look at my island.
Yeah.
Don't say shit about this island. If you have to boil something, boil it and be quiet about it.
Right. Luckily, the source water is very good. Nonetheless,
This guy is the same about his island as he is about Lewis Hamilton.
Lewis Hamilton can do no wrong. So this was an opportunity for her to see where my ancestors come from. And it was very important to me that she like this trip because I want her to want to come back. I was, trying to facilitate as much as I can to make this trip awesome for her, which I think mission accomplished, specifically right by the midpoint all the way to the end there. This island was winning.
Dude, you want to have the latter half if you can, You don't want the first half to be amazing.
Right, exactly.
And then diarrhea
yeah,
after
if you
that.
Want, if you want the wins, you want to stack them all the way at the end. So that's the last thing that you think about. There was a strong balance between, not strong balance, but there's a good balance between like family stuff and then family events and then us doing our own thing. First time that I stayed in resorts in Mauritius, which was interesting.
What did your family think
I don't even know
about
where
this?
to start.
Your family like, you're going to stay at the...
I mean, we didn't even stay with the family. We stayed at an Airbnb, which is much better. I mean, we were only, I think, about like 7-8 minutes away from home.
Yeah.
So, or from where my mom was with the family
perfect, then.
compound.
It's like a quick...
Yeah, exactly. So you have your own little place, which really, after a couple of days, it just became our place. It was, it's very nice.
I imagine in Mauritius, and it's just like that in Pakistan. It's like these, if you're staying with family, there's like 18 of them.
Yeah, there's a lot.
And you've got your mattress.
Yeah.
And then after that, it's hard to say.
That's true.
It's
And also,
everybody's
I'd be uprooting a cousin out of their room.
Yeah, you don't want to do that.
There's no free rooms. There's no guest rooms.
Right. There's not
this,
an open room that they use for the foosball table.
Yeah, we're not like super rich.
Yeah.
Right. So it definitely would just have to bump someone.
Yeah.
So I didn't want to do that.
That's why I got a villa.
So we lived in a place that's in Eben, which is a city. And
how big is this? Just so I can paint a picture that's probably not right.
How big is what?
The city.
The city?
Yeah, like people wise or.
Cooksville.
Ooh, jeez. Wow.
Yeah, like the two blocks of Square One.
Yeah.
That's the city.
Wow.
Everything is compact. All of your proportions has gone down. Like SUVs over here that are small, like mini SUVs over there look like absolute monsters because everything's smaller. Roads, other cars, everything. So it messes with your thing, with your perception.
How
Because
big
you
are
see
your people?
What's that?
How big are your people? Normal size?
Yeah, normal size to small. I'm the biggest.
You're the biggest.
I'm the biggest. I'm like a really big outlier.
Jeez.
both
Narrow
in
roads.
weight and height.
Yeah, I can imagine in height.
Yeah.
And then the weight comes with it. I don't know how else you would. You're like, I'm normal in weight though.
Yeah.
I'm weak.
But yeah, I don't really know where to start. But so let me tell you a little bit about the resorts. The resorts has always been this place where it's like the hotel. That's what Creole, like in Creole they would say, like those are yeah, the hotels is essentially where white people go. I've never been annoyed when I go to a resort to Dominican Republic or whatever, and you see white people hanging out, trying to relax from their stresses of life, but they only stay in the resort, or they'll do like a quick excursion that's close by and then come back. Right?
Yeah.
That never bothered me. But it definitely bothered me in Mauritius. Now, I know it's a little skewed because I can go, we went all over the island. Most of the coast was covered by, we drove every major highway, every major coast, almost every beach that was of note. We went to visit or swam in or drove by and took drone footage. The whole island.
Wow.
But there's still hundreds of spots in specific places where we haven't been able to go yet. And each place is very unique. You would get some coastal roads where it's coastal areas that's, mostly beach-like. And then even within beach-like, you'd have some that's more coral, some what's it called, coarse sand, some super fine sand. So, and then like that's different like beaches and beach quality, and you become like a snob of beaches when you go to Mauritius, because when you go to Dominican, you're like, this is our best beach, and that ranks like a 4 in Mauritius. This is a place where if you have to do a quick swim with the family, you just drop by over here and swim. This is not, if you're gonna like actually go out and swim. There's other places that are the sand is almost like marble. It's that nice.
Damn. You take pride in your beaches too.
We very much do. Yeah. So yeah, we drove everywhere. It's really safe. Yeah. It's super safe island.
Yeah, I believe you.
All things considered. There's like, I think 1 or 2 ghetto-esque places, and just don't drive through those places. And then you're good. And we never did, because you're just on main roads and whatnot. Right. And then most of the coast is all fine. So yeah, no, it was wonderful. The resorts, oh yeah, that's what was bothering me is like, yo, you're wasting all of your money here. And you only get this one beach that you get that I mean, like, it's very nice, but this is all you're going to get out of this island. There's so much to be had, and every destination is about an hour away,
and it's safe.
Yeah,
go see it.
Yeah, dude, there was people who were vacationing and they brought their nannies.
I've heard about
at
this
the resort.
Yeah, my wife told me about this. She's like, you know what some people do, and I was like, oh, she's telling me we're going to do this later.
Dude, they didn't even let the nanny wear beach clothes.
I know. Why not?
So if you as a family are frolicking in the beach, right? And they were very loud, by the way. This particular family, I think it's like brownish Arab, I don't know, whatever,
gross.
Right? They were so loud.
Yeah.
We're just sitting there by the beach reading a book, right? And dude, the entire time it was this. Oh, you're so cute. Oh. The whole time. Yeah. I swear to God, dude, I wish a shark ate him and his little kid.
You would have been like, oh, he's smaller. Oh. That would be funny.
I wish he lost his leg. Anyway, so he's like, the way, like, the audacity, his volume of voice made it feel like he owned this entire beach.
Did you feel like, for just to make sure your wife was having a good experience, you have to get involved at any point? Or like, we're not all like, this is just brownish Arabish people.
I mean, he was Arab, so he's out of this country.
Yeah,
like,
he wasn't
immersion. He wasn't immersion at all. Yeah, so screw that guy. Anyway, so they're whatever, and then the Filipino nanny is just wearing regular clothes. Hey man, why don't you just let her wear something for the beach? Right. I feel like that would be nice, because maybe she wants to enjoy the beach.
Yeah.
Also, here's the other thing. Yeah. Anytime the kids wanted anything,
right,
like even just just to be picked up, they ran past the mom directly to the nanny.
Yeah, man.
That mom doesn't look like she has any interaction with these kids, dude, and they were all on the beach.
Yeah.
It was something.
It's crazy.
It was weird.
Yeah, it is. I've seen that.
Yeah.
I've seen that kind of stuff.
It's almost like the mom was the nanny and the nanny was the mom.
I was at a house of a doctor, and that happened, where the kid cried like and just ran past the mom to the nanny, and I was like, "Ooh, this is therapy later." In my head.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
Yeah, resorts have that, man. Resorts are. You also see like super rich people with super young women sometimes.
You know what? That doesn't bother me that much. The nannies bothered me more.
Okay.
The nannies bothered me more.
Says more about you than the nannies.
I guess. I don't really know. Geez. Anyway.
What was like the thing that Madea was like, wow.
Okay, so you're gonna be proud of me.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know.
Okay.
We did more things. Like we did a hike. This hike was 4 hours long, and during that time, you had to cross rivers. Right.
Wow.
At first, we were taking off our shoes to cross it.
What's the weather?
Dude, solid 26 to 35.
Ooh.
Right, every day except for like one day that it rained, and that day that didn't even matter because we went on a catamaran. I'll tell you that story in a minute. Yeah. So, like we had to cross rivers. We're in the jungle essentially, right? Everything has red ants on it. Yeah. Like if you put your hand on a stone trying to support you as you're trying to walk through this river, there's red ants everywhere. It felt like I was like a little bit of an eco challenge situation. Jeez. So we hike deep into the jungle. And then we get to a waterfall, freshwater waterfall. And dude, like swim trunks, jump in the water, cold water, and then swim. You look inside this fresh water, you could see eels, you could see fish and whatnot. And I almost got scared, like I can't pee in this water because remember that Rock movie?
Right.
Where it says don't pee in the water because if you do, then a fish will fly. Will try to go up your urethra.
We'll look into that later, but
yeah,
that can't be true.
Can't be true.
I would think you'd be like adding something to this.
Right.
That's how
just
where
good,
my ego
good bacteria.
Is. Yeah,
good
it's
bacteria.
Probably good for somebody.
Yeah,
a fish might need this.
Yeah.
Flavor.
They eat poo. Like how? Why won't they drink some urine?
Yeah,
some filtered. Anyway,
indeed.
But you know that was fun. And then after that, you just kind of not even dry off a little bit, just put on your shoes and whatnot, and you walk right through the river. At this point, I realized I should have invested in, every once in a while on Instagram, you get a little like commercial, and it's a couple white people adventuring,
right? And
they walk through a river, and then it shows you how easily that shoe expels the water, so it dries while you continue your hike.
Right.
I've seen it. It's come across, never registered as something that I would need. Definitely need it this time because New Balance shoes and water and like Adidas socks, problematic.
I've had some commercials that I should pay more attention to.
Yeah.
That's some rich people talk too, though. They're just I might need these once every 7 years.
Yeah,
but when you need them, you need them.
You absolutely need them. And then, I mean, all the rocks are like super slippery, right? So you could just, I'm surprised that in a group of 7 cousins that went, no one face planted. No one slipped off of a rock and just pasted their face onto like the into the river or whatever. Where somehow we were still like,
they weren't
no one
like
got
Mauritian
cut,
natives. They were just like running on the tips of the rocks, like you
Just
can't
floating,
do
like-
this, city boy.
like
He's
Crouching
upside
Tiger,
down,
Hidden Dragon. And then eventually we continue to hike, get to like up a mountain, down a mountain to an abandoned dam, which I'll show you footage. It's actually really nice.
Okay.
And then from there we hike down, and at some points it was so steep that you have to use a rock to support you, and you can butt slide your way down the cliff face.
I like that.
And then we get to, now we're in, pretty high seas, and the waves that would crash onto the rocks created a natural pool, and we swam in that, and that was salt water.
Whoa.
And in there was like sea urchins and things like that on the ridge, but as long as you stayed in the middle, you were fine. And if you dip your head inside, you see like all types of fish, all types of like little stuff that's moving around or whatnot.
Whoa.
So we swam there for a bit.
Yeah. How many people are in this?
7. This just, my cousin did the hike previously a couple years ago.
So he knew about this.
Yeah, dude, I don't even know how he's finding half the way there. There's no signs. It's not like in Promenade, like the particular trails in Mississauga where you see the 3 leaves, or whatnot, so you know that you're on.
Right.
No, dude, some of these trails are not actually trails yet. How eventually what happens is that it gets like a muddied path,
right?
So you know that it's a trail. It wasn't even that. It was just that the foliage was slightly divoted, but you're still walking through it.
That's so cool.
It really is. It feels almost like you're.
You should try to find on Google Maps and show us.
Not right now. I can try.
Oh yeah, sir.
Yeah,
Coffee. I was like, okay.
So that was really fun, and then after that, we trek back across and there's huge waves that are just crashing a few feet away from you. It's exhilarating the entire time, so much so that we stopped taking pictures because there was no way for us to capture what we were feeling. So it was just better for us to just like look at the green, look at this, look at the volcanic rock, which by the way just makes no sense. By the way, the fact that volcano rock is that far away from the volcano.
Yeah.
which is an hour away driving.
Crazy.
Like, so I was reading about this. So it took 2 million years ago is when they date when Mauritius was formed by that one single volcano. But the volcanic rock that is right on the shore is so far away from the actual volcano, like I said. Like, just thinking about the trip this like mass of melted rock had to take for it to reach here over the years and years and years is insane. Some of this stuff you look at and you think where the origins are, and you can barely comprehend.
Yeah.
Or like the mountains. Like, the mountains are created as a result of like tectonic plates that are crashed into each other, and like they move 5 millimeters a year.
Yeah.
Over the course of millions of years, now you have a mountain. Yep. You look at that, you feel like so small.
Yeah, I think about ants coming across something and being like, wow, look at this. And, obviously this is somebody who's very high.
Yeah.
But, you're like, wow. And that's how I feel a lot when I look at nature. I was just like, I'm probably not even understanding this cloud. That I'm just like, wow, cloud.
Right? It looks like a rabbit.
Yeah.
So that was really fun.
That sounds friggin' out of a movie before it goes into a horror, where it's like, wow, this is great. Oh, these teenagers are having the best time.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, if we all fell off that dam, that would be it. That's all for us. Yeah. Somehow just made it all the way through. So that was fun. We're recording, just make sure everything's happening. All right. So that was cool. Went on a catamaran. Okay.
What is a catamaran?
A catamaran is a boat
that
has, I think it has two, is it hulls?
Oh, like two main things on
like,
each. Have you seen like Waterworld? Like
basically, like a regular. You know what a regular boat is?
Yes.
So you take two boats,
Yeah.
and you smush them.
Okay.
So like the middle part of it doesn't actually touch the water.
Okay, I got
and it's
you.
just the two on the side that touches the water.
Right.
And the whole top part is a platform, and it's got a sail.
Got it. Okay. Yes, I know exactly.
But it also got like motors and stuff.
Now you lost me. No,
So we rent this out. We're sharing it with like 3 other families, right? And the idea, the trip is to move from the northmost tip of Mauritius to past an island that's way in the distance. So if you stood on the shore and you looked at the island, it looks about this small. So I'm thinking about like a 1-inch length, right?
Okay.
And it looks like a mountain sticking out in the water. So we would float past that, sail past that, and then past the breakers. Do you know what a breaker is? So it's when big waves crash against the reef that's further into the ocean, which essentially breaks down the waves so that by the time it hits the shore, it's a smaller wave.
I do know what a breaker is then.
But those breakers are big-ass waves, right?
Yeah.
Past the breakers to another island over there that's uninhabited.
Right.
And, we just chill over there. They're going to do a barbecue, blah, 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 right? Anyway, it takes an hour and 15 minutes to get to that island. So you're in the high seas at some point.
Yeah.
There's portions of this trip, right? Which, by the way, almost the entire time, I have my legs hanging over the edge. I'm all the way to the tip, like where it goes up and it slams down into the water, just holding on and having time of my life, right? But there's certain times where you look right and you don't see horizon. You just see a wall of water. And it's not super rough, but it is like, it's jarring at times. And when you're looking at it, you're like, we're so small.
Yeah.
Right? This not so big wave has taken over the entire horizon on my right side. All I can see is a wall of water.
Wow.
Anyway, I'm doing okay though, right? Because I know how to swim.
Who doesn't know how to swim?
My wife does not know how to swim.
Your wife doesn't know how to swim.
So here's the thing.
You haven't taught her how to swim yet?
Dude, we didn't have time.
Every brown man's responsibility is to teach
yeah, no,
their
I know,
brown wife
I know.
how to swim.
I tried. Gotta try harder.
You're from an island, for God's sake.
So here's the deal. I cannot comprehend the level of terror that someone who doesn't know how to swim feels when they're on a boat and they're seeing instant death around them all the time.
Right.
I can't even understand that.
Yeah.
So anyway, at first she started right beside me, and then as it was getting kind of rough, she's like, "All right," she noped out of there and she went in the back. The problem is if you sit in the back,
I can't protect you
because I want to be in the front. Yeah. If you sit in the back, you can't quite see the horizon, and that's when seasickness kicks in, right? So now she's feeling horrible, right? And at this point, the skipper is giving out plastic bags to people who are sick, so they're just gripping it with their hands, just they feel like they're going to throw up. So I go back every once in a while, rub her back, see how she was doing. But as I stay in the back there, I'm getting sick. So I have to go back in the front. So I'm working my way backwards, and back and forth. She makes it. She doesn't throw up. One of my cousins did, and she actually threw up on like part of my leg. She like missed the boat because it was rocking. And
you figure you get that back to your mouth. You don't try to aim that.
Like you should.
You make that a
You
zero.
gotta put 2 knuckles
Yeah.
around your cheek to
Yeah.
make a full seal,
Oh.
right? She didn't do it, and just
Yeah.
like it just hit my leg.
You know where your mouth is.
Yeah,
This
and
should be this should be a slam dunk. Don't lay it up. You know.
I mean, the boat is kind of rocking,
Yeah, right.
but still,
Well,
you know what? And I couldn't move because at that point I'm rubbing my wife's back,
Right.
and she's throwing up over here,
Yeah.
and my nanu, my mamu, my uncle, he's rubbing her back. It's a back rub train, and no one's gonna move. I'm stuck in the back.
Yeah.
Anyway, by the way, water is a color of blue I've never witnessed in my life.
Wow.
I'm telling you, if I brought you on this catamaran, which hopefully one day we will be able to do this together, you look at this water, you won't even be enough. You can't look at the water enough or long enough for you to comprehend the shade of the water you're seeing.
Jeez.
And I know it seems dumb. You're like, you've seen water everywhere. But I'm telling you, the color was so strikingly different that you can't help but stare at it for like 15, 20 minutes at a time. And then if you look up at the sky and you look back at the water, like literally, I was just talking to myself like, look at this water. You can't even, whatever. Anyway, so we...
you, I don't know. It seemed like you were like, this guy doesn't get it. He's not gonna get it. He should do mushrooms.
It's very hard. So we get close to that island peak mountain thing that I was telling you about. That was about an inch in length when you look at it from the shore. This thing is massive, and it's amazing because my entire life you see it and you don't quite conceptualize what it is from far away. You're just like, okay, this is how big it is. But when you get floating right beside it and you look up at this cliff face that is massive, and the boat does it, like the skipper does a good job getting you real close to it, and you look up, it's so majestic and huge. And it's just the only thing that's outside of the water. So it's not like beach, land, and then the structure. It's just a cliff face that sticks out of the water. Jeez. So it's really an imposing thing. And then when you really look at it and you see the birds that are like flying like back and forth across the cliff face, and you see how small they are, you have to like, again, redo your proportionality of what you're seeing because it's even bigger than what you thought it was when you first saw it. It takes your breath away.
What's it called?
Coin de Mille.
Oh.
Yeah, Coin de Mille, which is like corner of something. I don't know. Anyway, from there, another 15 minutes or 30 minutes, we get to the beach, right? Yeah. And that place is really nice too. Super great. We get up on a little dinghy boat or whatever, and then they zip you over to the shore, and you just change swimming clothes, and you swim in water that is ridiculously clear. Some of my cousins went snorkeling. I kind of followed them, but I didn't have the pipe, so it's a lot of like, and then looking, like coral and fish. It's amazing. Yeah, and I've never been so close to the breaker. When you're seeing it, it's amazing to see like the waves wash past. Anyway, barbecue, whatever, get back on the boat and then do the trip back. Fantastic, like amazing. Despite the amount of suffering that my wife went through to get there, she still thinks it was worth it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Dude, this sounds like a great, presentation of one's island.
Yeah, my cousins helped quite a bit to help put some of these cooler plans together because I don't know these things, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, that one was really good. Catamaran was really good. The hike was really awesome. Super tiring. And then for me, one of my favorites was a place called Choufleur. So Choufleur it's not easy to get to. There's no actual paved roads. The signage to get close to the place is almost non-existent. You kind of had to. We went and we used Google Maps to get to the place, couldn't figure it out, and decided, okay, it's getting too late. Let's let it be. And we drive away looking for another location, and then we found the signage for that location. And we had to pass through like sugarcane and stuff like this for us to get there.
Right.
And really the signage on it is, hold on, this I think I can bring up, and it would be just to give you an idea on what are we expecting with regards to signage to like a pretty, like a spot that's been known for 40 years. This is a well-known area, a well-known destination for people to see. Hold on a second. Let me just bear with me for a moment. Here we go. We're almost close here. That means it's gonna be, yeah, sugarcane. And then this is the only sign you get.
What's that say?
Choufleur. on a rock in faded paint.
Otherwise, you don't know.
Otherwise, you don't know
You're in a
nothing.
field of sugarcane.
Also, we're the only people there in the sugarcane. And at some point, there was a guy walking around with a rifle and dogs. And we were like, if
What's
this
he
guy
looking for?
I think he's looking for vermin, because the people who own the sugarcane, all of his dogs. First of all, we only saw his dogs first.
Yeah.
He has a lot of dogs.
Now you're just dealing with dogs.
And then we saw him, and then we kind of put it 2 and 2 together. But when you're driving past him and he's holding a rifle, and you haven't seen a person for the last 20 minutes of driving through sugarcane,
You're like, dogs, come save me. And you're like, oh, they're together. Shit.
I mean, this guy shoots at the car. Like, at that point, I was already thinking, all right, look, if he tries to aim at the car, I put it in first gear and then duck all the way down.
Right.
Accelerate right through. Like, I was going through that in my head. But yeah, I think what they do is just hunt pests and stuff within the sugarcane.
I wonder what the pest of
I don't know
something
what
you
they
need
are.
dogs and
Yeah,
guns
but the
for.
dogs are the ones who, like, alert him, I guess, or something
It's over
like that.
here.
Yeah. So the drive there, perilous, my friend. You need to have an SUV for you to do it. What we
a
did in a
RAV4.
little ass car. It would be nice if we had a RAV4.
Do they have European cars there, or is it mainly like...
Yeah, there's European cars there, but a lot of Japanese cars as well. There's a couple Fords, and I'm like, Ford, stay out of my country.
Stay out of my country, Ford.
Yeah,
I'm going to take your slogan.
Not at all. So you get there, and you get to Choufleur. And Choufleur is this place where it's there's a cliff face, maybe like a 20 meter drop, and it's high seas. These waves are gigantic, very big. Let's say about like 5-6 meters high. And they just constantly crash against the cliff face. And the foam and the impact of it, you can feel through the rock. Like the cliff itself, you stand still, you'll be able to feel it through you to your bones. The sound is amazing. You have to shout while you're there. And the thing is that happens all the time.
Right.
It don't, like, for whatever reason, to be like, oh, is it like this all the time? This much energy, this much power, this much majestic natural power that's happening. Yeah, it happens all the time, whether you're here to witness it or not. When we got there and when we started looking at this place in this area, like, knees were shaking. Like my mom was trembling, like she was like clenching her teeth, because what you're seeing is so almost like supernatural. It's something that you don't see. It's outside of like your realm of knowledge. I mean, your realm of imagination. That when you sit there and you watch it, you can't really comprehend. And when you're done looking at it and you drive back, you feel tired. And I equated this to, like, you know how in the Quran at some point it says, like, Allah says that, or I think it was Moses who said, "Can I see your face?" And Allah says, like, you wouldn't be able to comprehend if I showed you, but I'll show my face to this mountain. And he shows his face to the mountain completely crumbles. Right. I'm not saying that Choufleur is anywhere close to seeing God, but what I am saying is that there's a feeling of not being able to put into words after you spent just 15 minutes looking at this place, that like you're fearful of it. You look at it, if you fell in, you would die, but it's also beautiful at the same time, and it's overwhelming, and it's so powerful, and like there's no real way to describe it. So when you walk away from it, you feel like you're slightly changed. It's like a trip.
It's like an experience.
Yeah. It's a full-on experience.
It's a natural overexposure to something experience.
Yeah, it's something. I'm getting kind of like shivers and whatnot just talking about it. It was an amazing thing. I've seen it once before, maybe like in 1998 or something. Still hits you like nothing you've ever seen. Oh, the reason why it's called Choufleur. Choufleur is translated to the whistler. And essentially what happens is that when a wave hits a part of the cliff face at a particular angle, it gets forced through a crevice and then shoots upwards. And as it shoots upwards, it whistles.
I knew that. Man, I wish I could go. It sounds amazing. This seems like something people should be aware of, but you don't want it. You don't want a McDonald's there.
I mean, no, not that far out. And the reason why it's so difficult to get to is because it's not actually owned by the government. The pathway there is not owned by the government. It's owned by the establishment, which was a word described.
The mafia. The Mauritian.
That'd be cool, but
cane mafia.
Actually, you know what? It is sugarcane. So the establishment is the ones who their main business is sugarcane. So that's the reason why the pathway through is you gotta go through sugarcane. So they own the pathway to it, and so they don't maintain it because they don't want that many people coming and going.
Right.
But it's something to behold.
I kind of even like that setup.
Yeah, me too. I like it the way how it is. But definitely, like, if anyone's listening and want to go to Mauritius, which I think that if you can, you won't be disappointed. Like, even if you were to just go on a blog, type in, top 10 places or destinations in Mauritius, and then pick some. Choufleur is often on the list of places to go. It's a trek to do it, and you definitely need an SUV to do it. But if you even hit just half of that list, you will be amazed.
I know you and I were talking about going to a resort with our wives.
Yes.
We should just go back to Mauritius.
Dude.
I know you guys just went.
No argument here.
Sounds nice.
No argument here.
Seafood? Probably.
Oh, everything's halal on that island.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, everything's halal on that island. But I mean, like, what doesn't make sense is that Muslims are the third largest population. It's just like Muslims like to eat, apparently.
It's probably just easier to, as the supply chain, to just have halal stuff so you can sell the third of your population.
Yeah, a lot of it comes from Australia and New Zealand.
A lot of halal meat comes from the Meat Pie & Co. Meat comes from New Zealand.
Yeah, so everything that New Zealand puts out is halal as a standard, because a lot of it also goes to like Dubai, UAE, all that place there.
Those rich.
Yeah, exactly. So
I don't know why I hate those countries, but yeah, those guys.
But thank you for
making
halal meat.
Thank you for throwing your money around. Yeah. So New Zealand's like halal.
Yeah. So all in all, a very unique experience for my wife. I think it hit home. It was good. It was great for me too. Like what a wonderful trip to. And also my mom was there, so she got to come with us for, like, Choufleur. She was there, the catamaran and stuff like that.
Amazing.
Oh, the catamaran was funny. Okay,
yeah.
Because so the people on the catamaran, it consists of two sets or three sets. Let's say there will be the people who are completely comfortable on the boat in the open seas. There's the people who are afraid of the open seas, and then there's people who are afraid and also deathly sick, right? My mom started off as afraid,
right,
and then at some point, like, she's like, "Why am I afraid? I'm close to death anyway." Like,
okay.
if I die now,
one way to, you can sell yourself anything, I swear. But yeah, that's one way to
so
look at it.
if I die now, like if I fall in and die now, it's okay. I lived,
right?
And the second time I go back to check on my wife, my mom is just like lounged back. Like,
it's okay if I die. I've lived. You're like, what the hell? What kind of motion sickness is this?
Totally relaxed, just kicked back. And then it's like I look over to, because she was sitting close to my wife, and my wife is just holding on to dear life.
Oh my God. So funny.
But yeah, we need to rectify it, because also there was one hike that the guide, the hike guide, he said that he wouldn't be able to take us because she doesn't know how to swim, because they had to cross another river, and then the water is about waist high. And they said, we can't take that liability.
I think it's good. Just play it safe.
Yeah, for sure.
Play it safe with the wife. She doesn't want that trip, and all that great stuff, and I almost drowned.
Yeah, exactly. Right. You don't want that.
Well, it's okay to have that story. It's better than like other stories.
Yeah. No, instead of almost.
Yeah, man.
But yeah, all in all, a fantastic trip. I feel enriched. I feel like really happy. Yeah.
I wonder if you have to be from Mauritius to appreciate it this much, because I want to go and.
You know what? I think that you won't get the feeling of when I go to the ocean for the first time in a while. My eyes tear up. I get so happy. So you probably won't get that. But there's no way that I don't bring you to these things and you won't be losing your fucking mind.
Yeah, no, but I lose my mind pretty easily.
I know, but that's the excitement of living.
I know.
Right?
Dude, I wish we could go like to Mauritius and Iceland and do back-to-back, just like... All right, white people volcano.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's funny. Farah was telling me about that right now, because we're trying to set something up for, like, we were talking about like a resort thing maybe later on in the year. And she said, if we can't do something together, you guys should go to Iceland, because apparently it's been one of your favorite destinations.
It's great. Yeah. It's just so surreal that it doesn't remind you of anything normal, and that's great.
Yeah,
it's just cool. Like, oh, that waterfall is flying upwards because it's so high, it's so windy that it's flying upwards.
That's insane.
Yeah, and there's a sheep 1,000 foot in the sky,
Right.
and it can have grass anywhere, but he's been slowly climbing. Sheep like to eat at elevation for some reason.
Is it a goat or is it a sheep?
It's a sheep.
It's a sheep.
Yeah, there's more sheep in Iceland than people.
That's
They let you know that.
right. That's part of the tour.
It's noticeable.
Yo, your wife told me something else. She said that there's no horns in cars.
Dude, there's no street lights.
There's no streetlights.
There's no street lights, only reflectors. You better have lights in your car, because
That's insane.
the person about to hit you can't even. They're like, they can't even honk. They're like, just trying to yell.
Oh man, yeah. There's certain parts of you're talking about the reflectors that's indented, like embedded in the road.
There's like these little side posts every 10 meters or something. Tick, 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 and that just kind of gives you the idea that this is a curvy area.
Yeah. In Mauritius, they have they call them cat eyes. You would think that there are 3 LED lights in each one of these things, but it's just a reflector.
Yeah.
It's super bright. So the ones on the edge is red, and the one in the middle is white or something.
Yeah, Nevada had that as well when we were living there, and it was cool.
You lived in Nevada?
Yeah, so we went from Pakistan to Nevada, to Pakistan to Houston to Canada. So, but yeah, Iceland. Check it out. Food's very expensive. You got to take your own food.
Yeah. I heard. Yeah.
We took like 10 kilos or something of our own. We took literally
one suitcase.
One meal for each day was we took it with us.
How long did you stay?
5 days.
5 days. Okay.
Yep.
Cool,
So it's just like ready-made paneer and chana masala and craft and stuff like that.
Hey man, as long as you have like a hot plate or something, you can make
They're
that
so
work.
nice. They're so nice. They don't even have accents. That's how nice they are.
How do they not have accents?
You know, every
Icelandic
language,
accents?
how every language lends itself to an accent because of the way
Yes.
your language is. This language doesn't lend itself to an accent.
Right. So they speak Icelandic and they speak regular ass Canadian English?
Yeah, it basically seems that way. I'm like, are you from Baltimore? And they're like, no, whole life here.
Okay.
Like here, your whole life. You're like, yep, this is where I lived my whole life.
Right.
I'm like, man, I can't pick anything up from. Like he's trying to find it, something.
Yeah. All right, fair enough.
Yeah, their language doesn't. It seemed like they might have lived like 6 months somewhere, but it just you can't like put your finger on anything.
Damn.
And they're happy. They're happy assholes, dude.
Yeah.
I even asked them like, you guys, I hear you guys are like really happy.
Yeah.
And this guy who was serving me fish and chips on the side of a volcano was like, yeah, we're all pretty happy. I'm like, yeah.
Are they all generally the same race?
Yeah, of course they are. Why wouldn't they be? Okay. Otherwise, they wouldn't be happy.
So I think there's something to be said about that. Like it's I think this is what I think is important. Mm-hmm. Either it's all the same race and not much people. Mm-hmm. That's happy. Well mixed populations, well included populations. So like rich with poor, different colors together, all the different restaurants all together. That mix.
Okay.
But if you have concentrations of too many like races, but they're all siloed beside each other,
right?
That's problems.
Yeah, silos are no good.
Yeah,
it's true. And too many, not mixed. I that's the same as silos are no good.
Yeah.
But I think small is easy to keep happy.
Yeah.
You can even have mixes and non-mixes. But if it's small and everybody has enough of everything.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think this place, everybody felt nobody's car was super nice. Nobody's car was super shitty.
Right.
Homeless people were well dressed and looked well fed.
Right.
And just kind of talking to themselves.
Right.
And yeah, nothing, everybody was at a baseline, it felt like.
Yeah. Not too high, not too low.
Tall people, though. Tall people.
Yes.
They look like they can get going. Don't get them going.
Well, it's like all of the strong men, like champions, or a lot of them.
Women, too.
Strong women, yeah. Like the CrossFit Games, there's a couple of those ladies in there, too.
They're at least the top three. Yeah.
The top three, yeah. They're just it's unfair.
Yeah, one of them had a baby 2 years ago, and now she's climbed her way back from number 1 to number 5, which is pretty still insane.
That's insane.
That's hard to do after a knee surgery, let alone making life explode out of you and your pelvis shifts.
Everything, all your organs went up and then they went back down again.
You didn't do anything for 9 months, basically. You know? It's not like you were friggin'...
Yeah, she was Kegling.
Yeah.
That's the exercise you can do. Some light squats.
Yeah. I want one guy to give birth so he can tell us like this is how it feels. Actually, no, I just
I'm
believe
good
my
without.
Bible. Yeah,
I'm good
I
without
don't
it.
need any.
I'm good without it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know it's fine.
Well, mashallah, man. I'm glad you're back.
Hey, thanks, man. Appreciate
You
it.
don't seem that much darker or anything. My wife.
Oh, wow. Really?
You know, I don't keep track of that. I'm sorry. I'm not one of those. But my wife would probably notice.
Everyone was like, "Oh my god,
You're a
you got
little
so
bit
dark."
darker.
Oh my god, you got yeah. I got dark, dude. I'm literally peeling. That day on that catamaran.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what is my hubris with the sun. Like
Yeah.
this happened last time. I went to the Dominican and I was peeling. But this time too, I put on a little bit of sunscreen, just like tapping it around a little bit,
And then you're in the ocean.
and then just sat in the front underneath absolute
its-
like.
Just
Like literally, it's coming from the sun and then being reflected off of the ocean for an hour and 30 minutes there, and then an hour back. And I'm thinking I'm not gonna get burnt. I got burnt.
Yeah, I believe you, man.
But still, you know what? Totally worth it. And here's the thing: we always had this plan that at some point you guys and us will go back. But I'm glad that you guys didn't come with us this time, just because like every year, every time I go to Mauritius is a different experience, and you know some of it is more familial. Sometimes you go over there and all I do is just hang out with cousins, and that's all totally okay with me because you know we don't have family over here, and so you know that's okay too. But it was cool that we did it this way because it's like a new experience. We've never done many of these things. We never did.
Yeah.
So now I kind of had like calibrated in my head on how to do all of this. Plus, we went to resorts because that's going to be a question that Far is going to ask.
Yeah.
You know, so at least now I know about them. I went to like two very good places. One is the Shangri-La, which like I don't know, your wife has a membership to.
No, she's been to a couple. That's all.
Yeah, it feels like
Is it all you can eat at the Shangri-La or no in Mauritius?
it can be. Yeah,
It can be.
it can be if you want to pay.
Yeah, okay.
It's insane.
I'm sure it is. No, the rest didn't have all you.
It's stupid.
I believe you. Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, you can definitely be.
I feel like the place is safe. Just go to a place off the thing.
Yeah.
Especially if it's a small island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You know what? The Airbnb was just as nice. I mean, because like really, we went in for only one night, so we would eat dinner, and then we eat breakfast, and then kind of like feel the amenities a little bit, enjoy the beach, and then just leave. But the Shangri-La has a helipad, so like all these white people don't even drive through the island to get to Shangri-La.
Yeah.
They
It's
just
almost like they don't even want to go to Mauritius.
yeah. At this point,
Yeah. They're trying to avoid it as much as humanly possible.
and I resent it.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, Shah Rukh Khan does the same thing too, right?
Does he?
Yeah.
That piece of shit.
You know, like they won't let him alone. Like for
They
him,
won't actually. Yeah, he's
for
like,
him. He maybe he wants to go to
he
the
wants to. He's like, I want to walk.
Yeah.
You know, I want to walk.
Can't do it.
Nope.
Can't do it. Apparently, every night before he goes to sleep, he goes to a balcony and wave at people.
They're waiting for him. They won't go to bed without him.
Yeah.
He's trying to put them to bed.
Exactly. So if that guy taking the helipad,
Yeah.
I get it.
He has to wave at people.
He does. Is this true? By the way, I've seen videos.
His house does have a balcony that he does go to and wave at. I don't know if he does it every night, but he has the setup. You know, he has the setup, and it just faces the street where people come to.
Yeah.
So it's just kind of.
So I guess people are showing up. It's like a pilgrimage every day. Muslims go pray 5 times a day.
Who gets
And
that?
is-
You know, he got that put in though. Like, you know, that wasn't
What, the
there
balcony?
before. Yeah, that wasn't already.
Yeah, that's true, right? You gotta. The people, I gotta give the people what they want.
I have to get a waving balcony.
Yeah.
Put some nets. Put some things up in case they get crazy. But I want to come out and wave at them.
I mean, it's a security risk, right? If they know that he's always going to show up on this balcony when he's home,
Yeah.
right? Like someone could just shoot him.
I mean, having your home this widely displayed where you have a waving.
Yeah. Maybe they shut the road. Every once in a
I
while,
have
he'll be
no
like,
idea.
let people in. I can say hello to them.
They
and
would
then-
rip that person apart, whoever shoots Shah Rukh Khan. They would rip him apart with their bare hands. They would rip him apart.
Yeah. They'd probably eat him too.
They wouldn't find any of that, just like pieces. They're like, oh my God, something horrible has happened.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So,
And so, yeah, he comes to with the helicopter.
yeah, he comes in the helicopter. I don't know if he goes to Shangri-La. I can't imagine that he wouldn't. There's another super fancy place called the Place Maurice. And that place too has got a heli.
Yeah.
Um,
Brother, there's probably a place that doesn't have a name
yeah.
that him and Kanye and
All those people.
Epstein and Bill Gates go to.
Oh no! Don't sully the good name of Mauritius with Epstein and Bill Gates.
It's probably in the volcano. It's like, oh, we're going in the volcano.
Yo, I actually went to the
this
volcano.
is Bill Clinton's favorite part.
Oh no!
Sorry, you don't even like these people in the volcano.
I mean, it's
Oh,
dormant,
no.
and they said that within 1,000 years, it might
Yep.
blow
Until
up
then,
again. Yeah.
you know, it's a hotel for the ultra rich.
It's just covered in green. It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
It's really nice. No, don't put these people on my island,
No,
man. It's
okay.
gross. I can't even conceptualize it.
Just Shah Rukh Khan. That's my limit.
Yeah, that's that. I'm okay with Shah Rukh Khan.
Yeah.
What else do we want to talk about?
I don't know. How long has it been?
Dude, it's been a solid 40.
That's good, man.
We might as well just fold it.
Yeah, I don't want to like talk about like one stupid
I mean, the Johnny
thing.
Depp thing.
We're not gonna just make it the
just let it go?
The episode of Mauritius and your wife coming to see Mauritius and Whistler.
Fair enough. Well, thank you for listening. I very much appreciate it.
No, this was fun.
It was fun sharing it, fun giving you the update. Yeah, it was something special, and I really do hope one day before it gets too complicated or we get too old or whatnot, I'd like you to come.
Yeah, I want to go. Well, trust me, man. My wife is a person. If you want me to go somewhere, I've married the right person.
Yeah, this is true.
If
This
you
is
can
true.
sell it to her, and you can, you
Yeah.
just have to tell her it's a place.
Yeah, so what I want to do is that one of these days I come over to your place after I've sorted out all of my DJI drone footage.
Right.
And I want to show it to mostly your wife. I mean, obviously I want you to see it.
Let's
but
do
like,
it soon.
Yeah.
Whenever. I think it's a great. I'd love to see it while it's fresh in your memory.
For
Like,
sure. Yeah.
See what you're up to tomorrow, even.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah, we can do that. I can show you the raw footage. All right. People, this has been episode, what is it? 340.
340.
Oh my God, the numbers are getting bigger and bigger. Thank you for listening to us. We'll be back in a week. Take care of yourselves. Good night.
Yo.